Hello again. Tony Wright, First Love Christian Church, FLCC, and A.B. Wright Ministries. I'm so very glad that you're here viewing with us again today. I just want to highlight a few upcoming events as we approach year end and prepare to enter into this upcoming new year. First, we will have ongoing Bible classes, which are weekly study time that's centered around the standard Sunday school commentary literature, which is commonly available and published by a number of different publishing companies. The particular text that we use is Precepts for Living, which is published by Urban Ministries Incorporated. But there are many others, and you can get the quarterly versions as opposed to the annual commentary, or you can just follow along from the outline that we provide each week for the upcoming week. Then we take about 15 to 20 minutes each week and review the lesson, post key points out there, and you'll be able to post questions, etc. Regarding the lesson. There will also be weekly Zoom and chat sessions that we call Let's Talk About That, where we discuss life issues and endeavor to integrate and transform those life issues into life application opportunities for your individual growth. For us, the boomer generation, we need to interact more with the millennials and Gen Z, so this Zoom chat time is a chance for all of us to engage together. We address current topics, we dig into life questions. We basically want to know what's on your mind. If it's of concern to you, let's talk about that. Now, I'll warn you, if your feelings are easily hurt, you may not want to join, because we know that life is real. So we approach these topics in a real way for real life application. Our goal is to develop the whole person. Yes, we want you to be engaged spiritually. You know, we all need spiritual growth, but we also want you to grow and be engaged civically, socially, and politically. We want you to be effective in your whole environment. We know that Christ and the disciples, they engaged with individuals where they existed. They connected to those individuals on the level where they were operating, whether it was civically, socially, politically, spiritually, and they drew them into the kingdom of God. That's how we need to be able to operate while we strive to fulfill our mission here at A.B. Wright Ministries and FLCC of bringing kingdom ministry to human needs for spiritual growth. So let's talk about that. Now, as we close out this year, I'm sure that for some of us, 2020 has been a challenging year in many ways. Thinking back to this time last year, you probably recall a number of churches and organizations talking about the pending new year as the year of clear vision, of perfect vision, of 2020 vision, the year of seeing clearly, and on and on and on. There were a great many themes that were generated around just the fact that the numbers 2020 are associated generally with great eyesight. Some of you might have even built your New Year's resolution around the same thing. But as Mike Tyson used to say, everybody has a plan until they take the first punch. So as 2020 got underway and the pandemic took effect, we threw up our hands in disgust and basically said, well, so much for the clear vision. You might even have gotten to the point where you thought, what the heck is going on? Well, I'm here to tell you that I'm glad that you didn't totally give up. Just the mere fact that you're here listening to me right now tells me that you didn't give up. So I encourage you to never give up on God, because I can promise you that God will never give up on you. And I can also tell you for a certainty that this has indeed been a year of vision. It's just that we were thinking of clear vision in one aspect, but God gave us a chance to really experience clear vision. A chance to see things, many of which have been there our whole life, but too often they've gone unnoticed. Now we see them, and we see them in a whole different way. I challenge you to take just a minute and try to think of the many things that you now see very differently than you did on January 1 of 2020. You know, people have been awakened to things as never before. We likely see our government differently. We see financial systems differently. We see homelessness differently. We see food insecurity differently. We see social justice differently. We view our neighbors differently. We see our loved ones differently. We now value the time that we have to spend with those that we love the most as never before. And we see our churches and church leaders differently. Churches and church leaders see their members differently. There are just so many things that we may never have considered, but now we consider them and we see them. I just hope that you took time during this time out that God placed us in to figure out what God's vision is for you and what that vision that he's given you is all about. Now, ain't it just like God to turn water into wine? So I'll be presenting a year-end message that's centered around the topic, Seeing the Unseen. So be on the lookout for that one. Then on January 1st of 2021, we will kick off our 90-day Bible study. This Bible study is based on the book, The Bible in 90 Days. Some of you may already be familiar with. And if you have this particular book, or if you purchase it, by reading just 12 pages a day from this book, you'll completely read through the Bible in 90 days. Now, if you read from your regular Bible, you'll basically need to read between 12 and 16 chapters a day. And if you're an average reader, that's about 45 minutes to an hour of reading every day. Now, don't have a nervous breakdown. You can break it up, read 30 minutes in the morning, then another 30 minutes in the evening or at night. Or you can break it up into 3 segments and read 20 minutes in the morning, 20 at lunchtime, then finish it off with 20 minutes that evening or at night before you go to bed. Either way, it will take a little commitment. But how many of you really want to make a real commitment to God for this upcoming year? Now, we're going to be conducting this 90-day Bible study 4 times in 2021. So if you stick with us, you will read through the Bible 4 times next year. And don't tell anybody, but there are some that haven't read through the entire Bible ever. Now, we'll post key summaries daily from the readings. So if you really want to stretch yourself, join in with us. He kept you here through all this pain chaos. So the least we can do is give something back. Genesis 1:1 through Revelation 22:21, 4 times in 2021. Are you ready for the challenge? Join in with us. Let's do this. Finally, I also invite you to join with us as we participate in this fast from January 7th through January 28th. We'll be doing that in fellowship with Advancing the Kingdom Network, Cultural Transformation Network Ministries out of Torrance, California. It's led by one of my fathers in ministry, Bishop Milton Herring, and his wife, Dr. Cinda Herring, along with their son, Pastor Milton Herring II, as well as a number of ministers and ministries throughout the U.S., several countries scattered across the globe. Now, this is not a total fast like some of us have participated in that totally eliminates food and basically just consumes water and juice for 3 days, 7 days, 21 days. This is a Daniel fast that you'll read about in Daniel 1st chapter, where he and his Hebrew brethren, as we call them Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they request to eat only pulse or vegetables. So we ask that you limit your intake to fruit and vegetables, or we request basically that you drop the meats and drop the sweets, and you'll be fine. The most important thing, though, is prayer and study of the Word that you do in conjunction with the fast. Because just the change in food consumption without the prayer, without the study of the Word, is called dieting. And that's what we're not doing. We're fasting. So this would be a perfect time for you to lock into the 90-day Bible study and to set you on the path to success as you do this 21-day fast and then lock in with that Bible study, that first iteration of the 90-day study. You will be well on your way to establishing or reestablishing, strengthening or re-strengthening that relationship you have with God through His Word. Now, we're going to be pushing out additional information on everything we talked about here, so stay tuned to our social media channels while we move forward into this new year. I want you to pray with us, stay with us, tell your friends, Tell your neighbors. The FLCC, we're on the move, brothers and sisters. We're taking ministry back to our first love. God bless you. We love you. And we'll see you soon.